in the meeting. I'll let you know when that starts, and then I'll pass it over to you, Jane, to get started.
Okay, thank you.
I'll pass it over to you, Jane, to get started.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we are live now.
Okay, thank you, Holly. Good morning, everyone. This is the regular council meeting of June 3rd, 2020 at 9:04 for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin. And I would have called the meeting to order. I would do roll call of the municipal representatives. Councillor Collins. Councillor Collins is here. Councillor Florent.
Here.
Councillor Harper, not here yet. Councillor Bongo.
Present.
Councillor Shala.
Present.
Councillor Vermeer.
Here.
Thank you, everyone. So we'll go forward with the resolutions, and I will assign the councillors to the first and second on the resolutions. So I have a resolution moved by Councillor Vermeer, seconded by Councillor Shala. Be it resolved that the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin adopts the agenda as circulated for the regular council meeting of June 3rd, 2020. All in favor?
I would like to add something to the agenda.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Councillor Florent.
It's the motion from the Corporation of the Township of Bonnechere Valley. I think the agenda was to add it under new business and then discuss it after the motion concerning the calcium purchase.
That's correct. Thank you very much. So that amendment has been made to our agenda. So then all in, oh, sorry, someone else?
I'm sorry, Mayor. I didn't see the agenda anywhere. I don't believe I received it unless I didn't find it somewhere along the line, but
You didn't get a package, Richard?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so the agenda looks a bit different this time because, can you see it on my screen? Are you seeing it?
Yes, I got that part. Yes, I got all that.
So it just looks a little bit different because
okay.
Because we're online, Mayor Dumas has asked us to put the actual resolutions in just to keep us on track. So you can see that if I scroll through, all the pieces of the agenda are there. We've just put the resolutions right in it.
Okay, okay,
and
sorry.
That's an effort for you. Sorry, I should have mentioned that at the beginning. So for council and for members of the public, these boxes and the resolutions themselves have been included in the front part of our package, which is the agenda. And that is so that as we're going through, we're just going to fill those out, and it's just to keep us on track with which resolution comes next. So if I go back up here, this is the actual agenda.
Thank you for that, Holly.
I overlooked it, sorry.
That's okay.
Mayor Dumas?
Yes.
I don't know if this needs to be added to the agenda, but the day of action on litter, we ended up deferring the decision about when to reschedule that because it was conflicting with the moose hunt, I believe. Before it gets lost, I was just wondering if we could at some point add some kind of a date in our calendar just so that we don't miss the day of action on litter in October.
Thank you, Councillor. Holly, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think we had planned to defer that to a waste committee meeting. So, and we'll need to schedule one of those. So we'll make sure we include that when we do that.
Okay, super. Yeah, lots of people approached me about litter cleanup, so I just want to make sure that that is not forgotten. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Councillor Bongo. So I would call the vote on the resolution to go forward with the amended agenda. All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. Thank you. The closure of pecuniary interest. There is no disclosure of pecuniary interest.
I believe I have to disclose
we do.
pecuniary interest.
All right. And that's in regards to the roads, sorry, to the resolution, to the roads. Okay, fair enough. Thank you very much.
Correct.
Councillor Vermeer and Councillor Collins have declared a pecuniary interest. All right, thank you. We do not have any petitions, delegations, or presentations. So I will call the resolution to be it resolved, moved by Councillor Bongo, seconded by Councillor Harper, be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin adopts the minutes of the regular council meeting of May 6, 2020. Are there any discussions on those minutes?
Yes, there is.
Okay, Councillor Florent.
Give me 1 second to find them. It's on the first and second reading of the resolution number 20-077. I think the incorrect mover and seconder is recorded here. It should actually be moved by Councillor Harper and seconded by Councillor Bongo.
That's the first and second reading?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I haven't got my notes here, but I don't have any difficulty in changing that.
Carla has confirmed that with me by email.
Okay, thank you very much.
So,
Okay.
Richard here, a couple of things. I'm just wondering about second page, the fire ban lifted is a provincial fire ban. I'm wondering whether that should be capitals.
Okay, anything else?
Down right at the bottom page, second page. Emergency preparedness week. I think the week should also be capitalized.
Right, thank you.
I think emergency in the third line shouldn't be capitalized. We're just talking about information. And provincial ministries, I believe, should be capitalized also. My thought.
Right. Anything else, Richard?
And on all our bylaws, I don't know whether we've been doing that all along or not, but in each one of these, it says the said bylaw, and I believe that should be capitalized also in the last paragraph of each bylaw. And there's about 5 or 6 of them. I don't know whether we can change these or it would end up being changed on the original, but maybe possibly for the future, that's the way we go. Or maybe it was just this, but it's my thought. I feel that anyway, that bylaw should be capitalized.
Okay.
It is earlier in the bylaw.
Okay. All right.
I have
Thank you.
one thing.
Councillor Bongo?
Yep, very, very minor. My previous name appears where my name is listed at the top of the documents. If we're going to go for a complete consistency, I went through the legal procedure to change that. So just moving forward, that is just the Bongo name and nothing else.
That's fine. And that was it. If I remember correctly, that was in effect on the May 6th meeting.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So any other comments on the minutes? So the resolution now reads to that be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin adopts the minutes of the regular council meeting of May 6, 2020 as amended. And all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Was that Councillor Harper I heard?
That is correct, ma'am.
Okay, so you've joined the meeting. Thank you, Councillor Harper.
I apologize. I had some technical difficulties. I had to get an expert in here to solve them for me. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad expert help was available.
Okay, is everything good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Morning, Holly.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
So Dave, we're in section 6. We're just going through now the minutes of previous meetings, and we are now on the adopt the minutes of the economic development meeting of May 20th, 2020. And there is a resolution moved by Councillor Bongo, seconded by Councillor Florent. Be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin adopts the minutes of the Economic Development Committee meeting of May 2020 as circulated. Are there any comments to those minutes?
I'm just wondering, under unfinished business, Councillor Vermeer had some good information regarding the lack of service, cell service. And then another councillor, I believe it was Councillor Florent, talked about his area, and I certainly mentioned that. So I guess what I'm about Sabine Ward and the reception there, and the cost also. I'm just wondering, it says staff will send a complaint letter to Bell. I'm wondering if it should be regarding the service within the whole township, not just the LA area.
I think you're correct. I think every councillor represented their area very, very accurately as to the poor service. So I think that's an excellent idea. It is throughout the whole township, certainly. Anything further?
Yes, if I could just add to that, Chair.
Go ahead, Councillor Vermeer.
In regards to the cell, yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I had, I don't want to name the company, but I had a company come out and install satellite internet at my place, because I am taking money out of my own pocket and I am trying to compare the two services. Day one, it was very good. Day two, it was very, very bad. And I got a hold of tech support for this company and had a gentleman on there that I talked to for over an hour, and was very, very informative regarding internet satellite. That internet-based satellite, though effective, is it is the worst of all the internet providers. And the internet that we actually get here comes from a node in Chicago. And when there's bad weather in Chicago, it affects our internet here. And when there's bad weather here, it affects it here. There's a latency period with satellite, and it's the same thing with cellular in regards to the amount of people that are on it are causing most of the problems. They said you will not see any resolution to the internet situation regarding to service that you already have until the lockdown's over. That's all I got to say.
Well, thank you very much for that update, and I'm glad you're becoming one of our in-house experts on this, as we decide to take this forward, perhaps to ministry levels, etc. So thank you for your perseverance. Anyone else?
I'd just like to mention that although the information is good, it should have come up during business arising from the minutes, not when we're actually looking at whether the minutes recorded are factual or not.
Thank you for that procedural correction very much. So now I would call the vote, and that this resolution is now reading, be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin adopts the minutes of the Economic Development meeting of May 20th, 2020 as circulated and amended. All in favor?
Or
Yes.
It's carried. Have a resolution to adopt the minutes of the Human Resources Administration and Public Relations meeting of May 20th, 2020. Any comments to those minutes? Hearing none, I would call the vote on those minutes. All in favor?
or
Thank you. I appreciate the verbal, because I can't see you when the package is online. So if you just gave a for or opposed, I would appreciate that. Thank you. So that resolution is carried. All right. So now we go to committee and staff or council reports. So I have to get to that section in my package. The first report was from the library, the public library, and they have been very busy, and certainly they have been adapting quite readily to our new reality, looking at their curbside pickup and actually having both libraries will have their book list online, and they're certainly moving forward to make the service more readily available. And Holly, I don't know if you mentioned it, but to the viewers that we may have during this meeting, you can go online to the township website and actually see the package there as well if you wanted to read through the package ahead of the meeting. Any feedback from council on the report from the library?
Yes, I have, Jane.
Go ahead, David.
We were to install some little libraries around the community this summer or this spring, starting in the spring. I haven't built any yet, so they have not been installed. And I'm assuming I shouldn't do it until such time as we're out of emergency situation or something like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Holly.
I was just going to say, so if you read through the library board report, the transfer of books they have a whole procedure around it, and they're cleaning them in between. So post-COVID, I'm not sure little libraries will even exist. So we should probably put that on hold, because I'm not sure, we're not going to, the idea of those libraries is kind of just people leave books in them and people take them at will. So until we're finished being concerned about COVID, I think we probably don't leave stuff around like that. So
that's what I thought. Good enough.
All right, thank you. We had the report from the Madawaska Fire Department, and we have an EMS meeting coming up, Holly, I believe, next week.
we do. We only have one item on that agenda right now. I will get in touch with the fire chief. He's working on getting the guys back into being able to have meetings under the COVID situation. So we can maybe talk after this meeting about some additional things that we want to talk about at that meeting. And also if there's another committee meeting that we should tag on to that one, or we could just have a short meeting. It doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you. We'll do that after the meeting then. And the report from our planning and building administrator for information. Any comments? No, okay. Thank you. Then Holly, we're at your report. I would ask you to go through that if you don't mind, please, if there's any questions.
Yeah, so the first report is actually mainly Jen's report, and it's just an update on COVID, as we said that we would give it to you. Actually, as I'm looking at it, Jen did send me an email regarding the actual numbers up to date yesterday. And I don't have it because my webmail isn't working this morning, but you can see we have lost a little bit of funding because of COVID, because of the interest that we forgave, I guess. So that's kind of a general overview of where we are. We also got some gas tax yesterday. The province has given us all of our gas tax at once this year instead of in 2 payments. And other than that, if anybody has any questions on that financial report, I would suggest you probably would be better to reach out to Jen. So I actually just got a live update that we right now, as of today, have 86% of our taxes have been paid to date. So I think that's pretty close to in line with what we're accustomed to seeing, which is a great thing that people are able to pay their taxes. And I guess we'll just go forward. Sorry, that was as of yesterday. Okay. So going forward with my report, yeah, we're just trying to keep things normal. We have a few pickleball people working under COVID conditions. They're separating and not causing large groups. We are moving back. We did move back into the building as of June 1st. We have a schedule so that people who are actually in shared offices won't be in the office at the same time. And I'm working from home quite a bit because I don't have daycare. I'm still working at that. So people are also using my office if needed. If people need to set up meetings, they're setting them up and cleaning before and after. And we're not letting more than one member of the public in the office at a time. So that's going okay. And we'll keep moving forward as the province continues to give us direction on that. So you guys have seen the resolution for the non-municipal road grant, and we'll talk about that in the resolution section. I did talk to AMCTO, and I got a response back from them that both AMCTO and AMO are looking into what the next steps as far as the use of electronic meetings. So what I'm proposing to do, because I see these resolutions floating around all the time, that's kind of the way that municipal councils are talking to the province. And I don't really have any confidence that it works. I feel like one council starts a resolution and it goes and goes and goes. And I'm not sure that anybody's actually, collecting that 40% of municipalities signed this resolution and passing that to the ministry that could make the change. So what I'm going to propose is that we have a conversation with AMO and say, this is something that will change every municipality in the province's way of doing business. Let's create a survey and actually get a good understanding instead of just passing these resolutions around. So I'm going to do that this week, and I'll get back to you guys on if I have any progress with it. Does anybody have any questions on that?
No.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yep, no questions, but yeah, as long as in some form the message gets somewhere, hopefully to the province, that municipalities are liking this digital way of doing things, and for us to be able to continue doing that in the future in a non-emergency situation.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a discussion that lots of us are having. So that's why I was thinking that, I could maybe build the case to AMO to say, everybody's talking about this, instead of 25 of us or 50 of us or 200 of us starting resolutions. Let's start a conversation and then make an effort to ask every municipality, instead of, me sending it to Madawaska Valley and all of my contacts and then them sending it. And then where does it ever go? So I'll see what I can do. And if not, we'll just do it the old fashioned way.
Good. Thank you, Holly.
We've talked a little bit about the logo. Hopefully everybody got the update yesterday. I think, as I've said in the resolution, the decision just needs to be made. If we're going to continue to modify the new one, we can, there were some suggestions that came in last night as far as adding needles and pine cones and that kind of thing. I think those details we can still continue to work on if you guys decide to go in that direction. And if not, I think it's time to stop and maybe start to focus the style guide on the existing logo. So that's the decision today. There's a resolution that Bongo suggested in the last meeting for the naming Whitney and Madawaska as villages, and that will be just things that we do going forward. It will be just change in staff and council's language, and then as we go forward with strategic planning and official plan updates, we'll make sure that that's included. As we talked about in the last meeting, there's a resolution for the economic development intern. I've already talked about fire protection, and those finance updates are just an update of some of the grants that we're receiving and the tax collection that we've already talked about. We continue, the pandemic response team continues to meet weekly. I actually missed the meeting on Friday, but we are going to continue to have those meetings probably until the province lifts the ban or the emergency. And then I sent an email regarding extension of the landfills due to COVID, and that resolution is on the table as well. Yes, no. And then just the other item I wanted to let you guys know is for those of you who are aware of the Children's Game On program that the Community Resource Center puts on, they have just got 3 more years of Trillium funding to put that program on. So we might have seen that floating around on social media. So that means that all of the communities, Killaloe, I think Quadville, there's a bunch of us will have that program for another 3 years. Which hopefully will give us some time to maybe work some money into our budget beyond the 3 years to see if we can't keep that program going. So that's one. We've also got, CRC has got some fresh food baskets that they got a large number of them. So those are going to be coming to our community, and they'll be pushing them out through the Meals on Wheels program. I'm not sure if anybody has had any interaction with people who are doing Meals on Wheels, but I've got some great feedback from the community about the quality of food and how easy the process was. So I think that's up and running and going very well. We also submitted a couple grants in collaboration with CRC for COVID relief for seniors. So one of them is an online fitness program that we're hoping will be run out of the CRC. And the other one is, I believe, a technology-based program where Diane King from Barry's Bay Area Senior Support is involved, and it's helping seniors with some of the technology that we're all getting along with right now. So some great things coming out of the relationship that we have with CRC, and they've been super supportive for us. They're also still continuing to try to get the daycare open. I know there was a annual fire inspection this week, so they're trying to get going to get back on their feet as well. So that's really all I have for my report. Does anybody have any questions for me?
No. Okay. Thank you, Holly. I'm assuming that there aren't any committee reports that we haven't had committees, although the library did forward theirs. Are there any council reports?
I can go ahead.
Okay, Councillor Bongo.
Yep. This I should have mentioned this last meeting. And sorry to bring up the subject of snow. Over the past season, I just had 3 snow-related comments with regards to snow removal. And I just wanted to make sure that they were in the minutes at some point. We spoke about, in a previous meeting, I think it was either in March or February, about a snow event on January 11th, which...
Okay. Councillor Bongo, could this go to roads committee meeting since it's snow and it's not imminent? And
Sure.
I think that would be a good way to do that if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
So
like I said, just 3 points that I just wanted somewhere in the records, and that could be easily done at a roads meeting.
Okay, that would be appreciated. Thank you very much. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you. All right, so we're at business arising from the minutes, and I believe there's some follow-up from the minutes.
Excuse me, Jane?
I think we skipped Dave's report.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay.
All right, so, okay, we'll get to council reports in a moment, or business arising. I'm sorry, Dave, go ahead. I apologize.
Yeah, no
My reorganization of my package isn't quite working as well as I thought.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll just quickly go through my report. We had a hazard report filed from police collection staff on May 19th, and it was regarding 3 businesses that have sheds to keep waste inside buildings. They were concerned about entering under the current conditions with COVID-19. There's loose garbage. They were concerned about the air quality and the sanitary conditions. So we contacted the 3 businesses and they've accommodated the change. They are also exploring getting mechanically unloadable bins that we can dump into the truck. I know back before this started, we had hoped to get, to that bylaw and have a look at the commercial collection. just wanted to let council be aware that came up, and we've dealt with it, and things are carrying on at the moment. Next point is the new hire, depending on passing of the resolution, is prepared to start on Monday, June 8th. Second point under human resources, we had our Canada Summer Jobs grant reduced to 1 student, and I suppose I'm looking for consensus that we could still hire a second student and just absorb it within our existing budgets. It's not a huge amount, and it gives us a lot of flexibility to respond to grass cutting for the parks, and it's been a big help to have that second student. And there are 2 available, one returning from last year and another one that is applied this year.
Certainly, any comments back from council members on that?
I'm in
What is the
favor.
amount, Dave?
It's about $3,000.
Should I just do everybody in favor of this recommendation by Dave? I am. Councillor Florent, I heard you.
Agreed.
Okay,
I agree.
all right. Go ahead, Dave. Thank you.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah, next point, we had a sort of a cascade of beaver dam failures on Elm Lake Road on May 21st. I had to look upstream, and at least 3 dams failed in succession there. It's strange because we haven't had a lot of rain, but things are dried out. The road held out fairly well, but we had some damage. It was repaired the following day, and the water actually cut a drainage ditch down down one side, sort of a relief drainage ditch. So we just we made that more formal. The driveway at 1567 was completely taken out during the flood event, and it is now right out because we opened the ditch up more. I looked, and there's a hunt camp way back in there. It's a property. They're a resident. So I think we're going to have to introduce a pipe back into that driveway. Joe told me that there are other ways in there, but apparently you have to cross the river and things like that. So
That's not entirely correct, Dave. One area you do cross the river, but there are other access points along North Ayland Lake Road.
I had a look and I couldn't find them on a map. I was trying to see them from the aerial. I haven't contacted the people at the hunt camp yet, but I think they're the only ones that are affected. They're taxpayers. So if they don't want it, if they're not interested in putting that entrance back, it'd be better if we left it out, just for future events.
Dave, is that the same location that we've had a lot of trouble with before, just north of the dam?
That's right. I mean, the pipe held it very well, but it was a lot of water that came down. You look at 3 beaver dams failing one after the other. It did cut a little bit of the shoulder, but the pipe held most of it. Now there is a relief ditch down that side.
I think I suggested that relief ditch about 10 years ago. Yeah,
and I understood there was some resistance at the time from the M&R, but it cut itself during the flood event. So it's there now.
That's good.
Just like to point out that the annual shredding operation completed, and I gave you an idea of some of the volumes that we're starting to see in those C&D piles, construction demolition waste piles. This year we've noticed, I guess, with the COVID thing, a lot more stuff coming in brush and C&D, because I guess people are cleaning up their yards. So I think it's going to be up again. And something I didn't write down, our attendance at the Erie site is up almost 10% in 2019 over 2018. So anyway, a lot more landfill site users.
Dave, I looked at your figures here, and when I look at, I guess they're correct, but I guess I just wondered about the mattresses, etc. at the Erie site. When I look at the size of the pile of demolition material, And it appears that there's a third of it is, third the size was mattresses. I didn't think it was that quite that large. And regarding mattresses, it doesn't show any for Madawaska. Do all the ones from Madawaska come to Whitney?
Yes, you are correct. That is what happens. They have to set up with a fire truck when they shred those, and we bring them all up. It helps them be a little more efficient, and we just found that we were having some trouble accumulating a lot of mattresses in Madawaska.
I guess maybe we should put that on the agenda for the next waste management meeting, and maybe we should be changing that procedure where, if that's the case, maybe people have to bring their own to Whitney.
Bring their own.
I can't see us transporting mattresses around, but so maybe we should put that on the agenda for the next meeting. And
well, it helps. We put them in the truck. It takes us part of a day when we move them, and it reduces our shredding costs.
You're putting them in the compactor?
We empty the compactor, we put them in the compactor, and
oh, okay,
bring them up and dump them.
so it's
it helps
a
with
day thing then? Like it's one trip a season or twice a season?
just once a season before the shredder starts.
Okay.
It's quite a procedure. They have a lot of fires when they're grinding those.
Okay, makes sense. But really, do you think there's 1/3 of the size of the demolition material?
Well, I get these numbers from the guys. They
Okay.
an hour meter on the machine, so I'm accepting their numbers. That
Well, maybe the hour meter maybe takes longer, but it just seems that, just the visual appearance, it just seems that there wouldn't be 1/3 of that amount of volume.
yeah, I can question them on that.
Anyway, no, that's okay. But
Dave, my audio has been getting a bit wonky off and on here, and just getting back to the beaver damage on Aylen Lake Road, the hunt camp back there. Did you say that that's a taxation property, not in agreement with the MNRF?
No, it's a tax property. Yeah, it has a roll number.
Okay, so we are going to we're looking at putting a culvert in there.
I think I'm going to contact them, and if they have an alternate way in there, it would be better than putting that pipe in there. It's acceptable to them.
Yeah, because we also have a property at the top end of Aylen Lake that is a primary residence for somebody who's having a lot of trouble getting permits to put in a culvert. I'm looking at precedents here. I want to make sure we're doing everything equally then.
Yeah, they're out on Crown land, so they have an access road. They're dealing with the MNRF on that. This culvert would be in our right of way. It's within a municipally maintained road.
Okay.
No different situation. And I'm aware of that other case.
Okay.
Anyway, just moving on to capital projects. We're just working on getting underway here. Things are moving along a little slower than normal, but proceeding. We were approached by a utility company that does fiber optic lines, and they would like to do a buried service down the Cleary Lake project in the boulevard that would feed Couples Resort Lodge. I guess right now they're doing it through the air, and they don't have enough capacity for their guests. They would like to put in a service that would, they say, take care of them for the next 30 years. It would be buried along the, I guess what would be the east side of Cleary Lake Road on the lake side. It's about 2 feet down. They've given us a brief proposal in writing and provided us with a map. They are a company that has done underground utility in other municipalities, apparently, and I've contacted Hydro, I've contacted Bell, neither one have any problem with it, as long as they're part of Ontario One Call. They would need, council approval to do this. We'd have to, see some insurances from them. We'd have to, see it in writing that they're part of Ontario One Call and decide to accept this project as part of the road construction.
Dave, if I can interject here, if we are going to allow this, I think we have to have a formal agreement. Whereas if our construction or our manpower was delayed for any reason because of the installation of the fiber optic, that they would be responsible for the added cost.
Yeah, and I think we would need to do an agreement. They have told me part of this project is a line bore underneath Highway 60, and I don't think they have received permission from the MTO at this point in time. So, I mean, they cannot delay the project. If there's any restoration work, they'd have to be responsible for it. We need to see insurances from them. Definitely, this needs to turn into an agreement. So, I guess at this point in time, it's fairly new. They only contacted us last week. I'm just looking for some consensus to try and take us to the next step.
Dave, it's Jane. Would that, you're saying taking the line into Couples Resort, would that be available to all the residents along that section of the road?
Not as I understand it, no.
Really? So they're just taking it into Couples Resort?
I have not asked them that question specifically, but from what I understand and what they put in their proposal is that it is to feed Couples Resort exclusively.
Dave here, Dave, could we not put in the agreement that we require that they supply all those individuals along the road with fiber optics as they're going in there?
I can ask the question, sure.
Good.
Hey, Richard here. I guess I'm just thinking about down the road. I know you're going to resurface and it likely can go underneath possibly the walkway if I'm reading you correct, which may be easier or cheaper to repair in the future. But my understanding is it's quite expensive to repair fiber optics, and down the road, if they likely just want to put that safely under pavement, or like you said, a certain distance here. But if we agreed in the end to allow this, if it's put down extremely deep wherever there's a water crossing or a culvert, so then in the future, even though you'd have to do get a test on it to find exactly how deep it is, if you had to go to repair something, that there be less damage or that we wouldn't be liable. Because if we end up with a huge bill in the future, then there's also another alternative. They run Ontario Hydro up and down lakes. Possibly there's a way that they can put that in the water and take it to Bear Trail, if that's, and then we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they've explored that option or not. I can ask them if they have. The idea is to put it out in the shoulder.
Yeah, I gathered that, but when you look at when Hydro installed power to all the cottages, a lot of it's underwater.
Yep, I've seen it. Yep, underground cable is. I'm not sure I've ever seen an underground fiber optic or a fiber optic line in the lake, but they must exist.
Well, it'd be cheaper to put it in likely than anyway.
Less labor intensive.
Yeah, I'm. Again, I can. I'm going to be asking them for more information. They've got to formalize something to us that we could, think about putting an agreement Right now I have an email proposal and a topographical map, and that's it.
Okay, Dave, so you will bring more information back to council, absolutely, and
I will.
thank you. Anything else, Dave?
Yeah, just lastly on Gallery Lake, we had talked before about, I think, about paving one shoulder for there would be a combination gutter and walkway. And the engineers detailed it in his drawings to much like there is on Lake Street. We have to create a little gutter in some cases on the lakeside because we need the water to travel along the edge of pavement to a spillway rather than go across the properties. And to do that, we've probably got about a third of the road requiring the gutter. And the engineers just brought it all the way down Gallery Lake to create a walking surface. There's a lot of people that walk up and down that road. Combination gutter and walking surface. We're just looking for, council's feedback on that.
Well, it would, I live in that way, and I see I certainly agree with you. There's always people walking there. What it would do is it would identify where the people should walk. Right now, when you're driving in there and you're meeting people, one vehicle is slowing down or stopping while people are walking, and everybody's we're getting by. But what it would do is it would identify a location for people to walk and maybe be safer for the public and anybody driving the vehicle.
I agree.
But if it gets into catch basins and a whole bunch of other issues to transfer water from one side of the road to the other, it may get expensive and increase your cost. Where I think you took $15,000 or something out of that budget for another purpose, if I remember correctly.
There's no catch basins part of that. It's all surface drainage.
Okay.
Much like we did on Mill Street or Lake Street, Ottawa Street, that kind of a thing where there's a paved walking. It's a gutter mostly, but it also serves as a walking surface.
Okay.
Dave here, Dave. Is that going to expand the road to the point where all those trees on the east side are going to have to be removed?
You're talking about on the lakeside?
On the lakeside, yeah.
Yeah, there's two big red pines there that are would conflict with the sidewalk, and Hydro's identified them and are going to be taking them down anyway. We've been hitting with the wing for years. They're a hazard for Hydro. We've already,
Those are the only two?
just two, yeah. That's all that would have to move. There's a small realignment to get around two poles down by the couples resort end. But we have room we'd have to move the road over about half a meter in that case. Just poles.
Okay. Any other questions of Dave?
Yeah, I have one question. Dave, I flipped you an email regarding grading. You never got back to me, but if you're going to, I'll wait for a phone call.
Yeah, sorry, they're in Sabine right now, starting a full
Okay, excellent.
grade this time.
Okay, that's all I want to know. Thank you very much.
I have one point, Jane. I noticed that the grass cutting has started, and I'm thankful for that. It looks a lot better. It was starting to look pretty bad. The dandelions were as high as my knees in some of the locations. But I'm asking about the washrooms. When are we going to open them up? I've noticed that all the washrooms in Algonquin Park are now open, so they're managing to do it somehow. Maybe even if it involved putting a sign that people are at their own risk, because obviously we don't have facilities to wash your hands. And I'm sure if we put any hand washing stations with alcohol and whatever, it would just walk away with the first person that used the washrooms. But just wondering about that.
So can I just, are you sure that all outhouses in the park are open? I was under the impression that just the east and west gate comfort stations were open.
No, I've seen postings that all the trailhead stations are open as well.
The trailheads, but not all the trailheads have outhouses, do they? Anyway, I can look into that and find out what they're doing, and we can circle back with the health unit to see if they've given different direction or further direction.
We did
Okay, thank you, Holly.
some information on that, and they did recommend warning signs if we do.
Okay. Okay, well, Holly can look into that, and we could talk about that at our COVID meeting on Friday or whatever, just to get the information together.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Joe. Anyone else? Thank you, Dave. Nothing else for your report then?
No, that's it.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so now we are at business arising from the minutes, and I think Councillor Florent, you had business arising.
Yes, I would like to move the motion to endorse the motion put forth by the Corporation Township of Bonnechere Valley regarding the new firearms prohibition, and they've suggested some alternate methods of dealing with firearms other than this. In fact, just this week, I got this notice that I'm holding up here in front of the camera. There was 2.2 million legal firearms owners in Canada, and each one of us got this notice, whether we have any prohibited weapons or not. So, and it was from the RCMP, so they had to pay postage. It was in a sealed envelope. So already it's cost the taxpayers over $2 million, and they haven't even started a buyback process yet. Just
When did you get that notice, Joe?
last week, late last week, I think, Dave.
Well, I never got one.
Apparently everybody in Canada that has a acquisition or like a PAL is to get these. They don't differentiate between legal firearms owners or as long as you have a PAL.
And it came addressed to you, Joe, like in your
Yes.
name?
Yes,
Okay.
it did.
I never
Okay.
received one.
It was from the RCMP.
Yeah, never got one.
I don't own any of these weapons that are now on the prohibited list, and it's retroactive to May the 1st, and they're adding to the list all the time. In fact, I seen a bunch of them added this morning. That now there's even some break action single shot shotguns that are on the prohibited list now.
Okay, so that will come forward in the motions, Joe, and the letter from Bonnechere Valley was included in our package as well. So I would know the letter that you're referring to.
Yes.
All right, is there any other business arising from the minutes from anyone? Okay, thank you. Any unfinished business? None. In the section on correspondence action items, I don't know if there was anyone that wanted to comment on anything that was in there. That was actually the resolution from Armor in regards to the high-speed connectivity, and Holly has indicated an approach that she would like to investigate in regards to going to AMO and to go forward in a more organized manner rather than just agreeing everybody's letters. So Holly will get back to us with that.
Can I make an
Go ahead.
observation about that and AMO?
Yeah.
Because we are a rural municipality, and AMO deals with all the municipalities in Ontario. Half the representative, I think, comes from the Toronto area. We really, on a lot of these issues that are rural issues, I think it's a waste of time going to AMO. In fact, it's probably will result in a negative result more than a positive result.
Holly, you're on mute. I don't know if you wanted to comment to that.
So the reason I was suggesting AMO, Councillor Florent, was because I reached out to AMCTO, which is the clerk version or the staff side of things, and their response was that AMO and AMCTO were considering discussing it. So my recommendation, so the point of what I was trying to do was not get someone else involved like Roma. It was to say, this is a situation where every single municipality in the province has input on this or could benefit or could have an opinion on it. So instead of one-offing these resolutions like we always do. Let's go across the province with this provincial-wide organization that we have and find out what people really want. So to me, it's using AMO for what they should be doing. Because
I don't, yeah, I
similar,
understand that. I just don't think we have equal representation with the urban municipalities in AMO.
but I don't think that it matters in this situation. So what we're asking them to do is consider continuing the use of electronic equipment or meetings in the Municipal Act. So, you know, if Toronto decides they don't want to do it, that's up to them. But
Okay, I thought you were talking about all issues, not just the electronic. I apologize. I misunderstood you.
Oh, so I'm saying instead of passing one resolution from our township and then passing it on to a bunch of others, I know that AMO and AMCTO are already talking about the issue of electronic meetings. So I want to ask them to put some kind of survey together or some kind of tracking mechanism and say to all provinces or all of their membership, hey, do you guys have an opinion on this? And then collect the information. Because I don't think in a lot of these situations, anybody's really doing that. I don't think anybody is really saying we received, because they just start and then they go via email. So I don't think often that people are really tracking who's supporting these resolutions. And I could be wrong about that, but I think this one is one that affects all 444 of us. So we pay dues to these people. Let's see if we can get them to manage this question.
Still, even on that issue, I still want to point out that it's not an equal footing. So the opinion of people in urban areas isn't going to be the same. Anybody, I'm assuming everybody's having the same audio problems this morning as I am. So it's not equal. People in Toronto are going to be a lot better off with meetings by Zoom than we are. Like the audio on some of these this morning is terrible. Dave cut out for a whole minute in his presentation. Richard's is really, really bad. I have to really strain to hear him over the static. It's not good.
So I feel like there's two things happening here. Councillor Bongo and Councillor Vermeer have suggested that we should provide a resolution to the province saying that electronic meetings should be included in the Municipal Act, should be an option. And I think what I just heard from you is that you don't agree with it.
No, I don't agree with it at all.
So maybe we should vote locally and decide what information we're sending to the province before I even start a conversation with anyone.
Yep.
Now, if I could make a comment, I think we switched from, maybe I'm wrong, from a resolution that Township of Armor put out to whether we're going to circulate a resolution regarding meetings, electronic meetings after a COVID situation is over. But regarding the Armor, maybe I'm wrong, but if I'm not, and if I can continue, regarding the resolution for Armor, I think it's well wrote, but I think he missed out on one point, unless I overlooked it. It's affordable internet we want.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, there's some confusion happening here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Follow me? Is everyone in?
Jane, did you want to
Decide what we should. I think that the direction is not clear, and I don't think, why don't we go ahead with the Armor one and then do further research, or I don't know what council feels in regards to that. I'm sorry that. So
yeah, there's two specific items happening here. The Armor resolution is supporting connectivity in rural Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was also a discussion at the last meeting. And so that's what I was suggesting I would take to AMO, was the suggestion of maybe the Municipal Act continuing to allow us to do electronic meetings. But I think those are two very separate things.
Yeah, yes.
They are, but
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the where Councillor Ward is talking about it. And if that's his resolution here, the high-speed internet. I'm saying it should somehow come across so it's affordable. We heard last week of somebody paying over $400, and I've also heard of some very expensive internet costs in the last 3 months. So, which I certainly couldn't afford to pay, and the people that likely have them can't afford to pay. But if they have children that are going to school over online, they have no choice. So they're between a rock and a hard place. So I guess what I'm make it clear, it has to be, we just not only need to be connected, we need to have the high speed plus at a reasonable cost.
And that's absolutely true. And the affordability has always been, even to me, that's the first priority. You know, if it's not affordable, it doesn't matter how fast it is if you can't pay for it. So I'm sensing that, yes, we want to support the intent of this letter, but certainly that the affordability component is not there. So could we do the resolution that we support it, but feel that the affordability component should be the first criteria of the whole process, that it's equity through affordability and accessibility.
I agree.
So, okay. So we have a resolution in the package to endorse this letter, I believe. Are we at that one? Okay, can we just proceed on to the next item, and I'll come back to this as we go through the package. Is that agreeable with members of council?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Was there anything else in the action items of the package that anyone needed to comment on? Looks like there's some, I don't know if members of the waste management, but there's going to be some information sessions on the transition of the Blue Box program. So I'm just wondering if staff member or if there will be anyone able to participate in that teleconference.
Tracy's taking part in.
Perfect. Thank you, Holly. That's great. That's very good. Okay. All right. So hearing nothing else on the action items, information items were there. Sorry, we're into information items as well. I apologize. Maybe by the time we go back to the office, I'll have figured out how to do this electronic meeting. Just in the correspondence received for information, I heard just before I came up here, item number 3, the CRC in regards to their programs that they're offering, which are all tied into connectivity, and they were going to be on CBC radio talking about the lack of good internet service and availability of it in the area. So that I don't know, I haven't obviously heard it, but they were going to be on the radio about that this morning too. So there's a lot of different you know, agencies coming forward, not just municipalities, pointing out the poor service that we certainly receive in rural areas and in some urban areas as well too. Okay, so anyone have anything else on the correspondence received for information? Congratulations to the South Algonquin Business Association and their successful running of their lemonade project, and to the winners that received money and will be participating in projects related to their initiative. So well done to them. So new business. Councillor Florent, you've already mentioned about your resolution coming forward to support Anjou Valley resolution. So I would move to motions of council then, if that's where we're at this point. And I would bring forward the first resolution moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Shalla. Be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin awards the tender SA 2020-03 screened winter sand to GP Splinter Forest Products and the amount of $35,900 excluding HST. Any discussion? Okay, I would call the vote then. Councillor Collins?
She's muted.
Councillor Collins?
Yes. For.
Thank you. Councillor Florent?
For.
Harper?
For.
Councillor Bongo?
For.
Councillor Shala?
Or,
Councillor Vermeer?
Or,
Carried. The next resolution, moved by Councillor Florence, seconded by Councillor Vermeer. Be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of this Township of South Algonquin approves the recommendation of the hiring committee and hires David Dupuis as full-time Public Works employee at step 1 of the Public Works employee pay grid with advancement to step 2 after 3 months favorable performance appraisal. Any discussion? I would call the vote. Councillor Collins?
For.
Councillor Florent?
For.
Councillor Harper?
For.
Councillor Shala?
or,
Sorry, Councillor Bongo?
For.
Councillor Vermeer?
or,
Carried. Resolution, be it resolved that, moved by Councillor Shala, seconded by Councillor Collins. Be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin approves the recommendation of the hiring committee and offers Julia McKeithran the economic development internship position for a 1-year term at the rate provided in the job description and per the grant. Councillor Collins?
For.
Councillor Florent?
For.
Councillor Harper?
For.
Councillor Bongo?
For.
Councillor Shala?
or,
Councillor Vermeer?
or,
Thank you. All right. Resolution moved by Councillor Bongo, seconded by Councillor Vermeer. Be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin agrees to start using the term village when describing the areas of Whitney and Madawaska. I call the vote. Councillor Collins?
For.
Councillor Harper?
For.
Sorry, Councillor Florent?
For.
Councillor Bongo?
For.
Councillor Shala?
or,
Councillor Vermeer?
or,
All right. The next item pertains to the non-municipal roads grant policy. So I would ask the individuals that have declared a conflict of interest that we could park them for this point, for this resolution. Holly, can you do that? Holly?
Sorry, they've done it.
They've done it? Okay, fine, thank you. So the resolution, be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin directs staff to develop a non-municipal roads grant policy and provide a recommendation for the 2021 budget based on information provided and discussed to date. So I would call the vote. Councillor,
recorded vote, please.
okay, so Carla, we'll have a recorded vote if you could do that.
And maybe if I could, if I don't know whether it's up for discussion or not, but
Go ahead.
I represent, as mentioned in a previous meeting, I represent both people on lanes and private driveways and the various types of roads, private roads in our township. And I think the optics of this, I need a recorded vote and to be able to defend my decision. And so there's going to be one group of people that I will be voting, that I won't be voting for in this situation. But I am prepared to defend that to the best of my ability. And I'm nervous about using private tax dollars or public tax dollars for private entrances. And anyway.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion?
I would like to counter Councillor Shala's opinion that these are private entrances. In very rare cases that might be true, but for the most part, they're open lanes open to the public, used by the fire department for one to access in case of emergency. The ambulances use them, delivery services such as UAP or Purolator. They're pretty far cry from private entrance.
I guess if I may, all the other driveways in our township, the same services can enter, similar to my own.
That's, I agree with that comment as well. Are there any other comments on this?
I could go ahead and just add a bit to the discussion. I like new ideas, and I commend Councillor Vermeer for introducing this idea to the council, and I also appreciate all of the work that staff did on the research on this, as well as collecting all the statistics about the which properties might be eligible. And I think we've had a lot of good discussion about this. I think it's clear that there is some, you know, we have non-municipal roads that aren't maybe up to standard. Maybe they're not being maintained as much. And trust me, I have done a lot of thought about this, a lot of reflection. I've spoken to various people about this as well. But I think at the end of the day, for me anyways, the big question is, you know, what is fair to do with public money for non-municipal infrastructure? And I think that's where all the voting will reflect what we decide about that. I'm a big supporter of closing service gaps and also following and upholding precedents. I mean, if there is unfairness in the way services are distributed around the township, I think any little hypocrisies should be dealt with. But anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that, and I'm ready to move on to the vote.
I just
Thank
got
you
a
very
couple
much.
comments.
Go ahead, Councillor Harper.
This is a resolution to develop a policy. It's not a policy yet. There's going to be a lot more discussion based on this stuff before it is a policy. So we have roads meetings, information will be coming in more than once. I'm sure our staff are going to look at all the different possibilities that may happen with this policy. So just leave it like that for now.
But this vote will terminate any further development of this policy
It doesn't
at
say
this
that,
time.
does it?
We don't know
Yes.
that. That's what we're voting on. We're voting to determine if it will go forward and we'll create a policy, or if it's voted down, then we will not go forward and develop a policy.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, the policy hasn't been developed yet.
No,
that
we've done research in other people's policy, and I think what we've come up with is we have some unique situations. We have some crown land that crosses, that roads cross, excuse me. We have some railway beds, some properties that are using railway beds. So I think what we've determined is we are going to need some specific procedures or specific documentation within our policy to clarify all of those things. So this is what we're asking today, is to start the discussion or stop the discussion. So if we're going to go forward, we're going to develop that very specific policy. And if not, we're going to stop talking about it.
If I can quote the mayor, she just said that it's a vote to decide not to go ahead. That's incorrect.
No, you're right. I did not mean to say that, but anyway, well, it
Well,
is. It is. If we approve this, then we are going to go ahead. If it isn't carried, then we're not going any further on this.
That was my understanding also.
Yes.
It's to develop the policy. So we're not going to develop the policy. We're going to suspend it or dissolve it or whatever.
Yes. Everyone understands that then?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So Carla, the recorded vote.
Oh, Carla can't be heard.
Okay.
Okay. 1 second. No, I can't I can't unmute her. So I will just call on Carla's behalf. So Councillor Bongo,
Against.
Councillor Florent,
Yes, 4.
Councillor Harper,
Yes. 4.
Councillor Shala,
Against?
Mayor Dumas,
Against?
and it doesn't pass.
It's been defeated. Okay. Thank you very much for doing the recorded vote. And thank you everyone for your comments. They were very thoughtful and appreciated. So we will carry, oh, can you bring the other 2 individuals back? Okay.
Councillor Collins, are you there? I don't know.
Joey there?
There. Councillor Vermeer, can you hear me?
I can.
You can. Okay. I'm not sure if Councillor Collins might have stepped out. I can't. She's actually. We must have froze her screen. Oh, there she is.
I can hear you now.
Right.
Okay. Welcome back. Just to let you know that the resolution was defeated, and the vote, if you wanted to know, was Harper and Florent for, Dumas, Bongo, and Shala against. Okay.
Can
The
I actually, I'd like to protest a little here. We were
I think
actually
it's on you. The vote has been called. If you had any,
not against the vote, but I was actually taken out of this meeting, whereas YouTube was left running. So the rest of the township, or wherever the rest of the world, if you like, could listen to this discussion, and we could not.
And if you are familiar with the declaration of pecuniary interest, it is explicitly applied to the individuals who have the pecuniary interest. So that in this case, where 2 councillors have identified they had a pecuniary interest. And so you are not privileged to the discussions in regards to the vote and the process. If you do not like that process, then I would suggest maybe you could bring it to the Integrity Commissioner and make your complaints and your concerns known to them.
It just seemed a little odd that YouTube was kept running with this.
Well, it's an open meeting. It's not a closed meeting. The discussion is open to the public and to the councillors who do not have a pecuniary interest.
So Sandra, if we could liken this to being in the council chambers, the public wouldn't be asked to leave. It would be those who have a pecuniary interest who would leave the room.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, we'll go to the next resolution then. Moved by Councillor Bongo, seconded by Councillor Collins. Be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquins directs staff to adopt the new logo provided by Placemaker Design. Discussion?
I would like a recorded vote on this issue.
I just
All
have a
right.
couple,
Me as well.
I
Okay,
have a couple comments. Chickadees don't have barred tails that I'm aware of, to begin with. And Joe's picture of a white pine cone is correct. So it should only have, white pine only have two needles in a cluster.
and so Councillor Harper, you may have missed that when at the beginning of the meeting, but we indicated that those fine tweaks can still go on with the logo. We are at this resolution resolving that we go ahead with the new logo with Placemaker Design, but those tweakings could still happen or would still happen.
Fine, good.
Any other discussion?
I looked this over. I guess considering we're going to do some tweaking, that's exactly, I guess, what I'm leading to, because when I look at, for example, I look at one sign I don't know which one it was, maybe the first one. It looks like things are, yeah, it looks like the wings are attached to the body of the chickadee, and they're they're not squared off looking like a fan on somebody's stove or something, and where the other two are. And I guess it doesn't look like, almost looks like it was done in a hurry. I wish I could draw like that, but it's something is, if you look at both of those, when you can see them both together, and I didn't bother printing mine. I just kept looking back and forth, and you can see where the bottom one appears the wing on the one side isn't joined in the same manner, maybe, and one is. I just think it should be finer featured or something, and it should show the leg of the left side of the leg, or the side facing that we're looking at. It almost appears that the leg of the chickadee on the far side of it is showing, but we're not showing one on this side. So I just think some of that needs to be, if we're going to spend a lot of dollars changing a sign, I think we should get it as correct as we can. And that's my thought. I also, the Eastern Villages, if we would have had, there used to be villages within Algonquin Park before, at Brent and at Kiosk and places like that. So they were villages also. So I think that would be wrong. And I think I mentioned at a previous meeting, if we want to say related, that we should say bordering Algonquin Park. If you were worried about trying to show where you're located on the sign, but I could go with any of them. But I just think we need to fine tune the bird. That's what it's all about. And if it's to me, is the bird. We're talking about how important it is to have that chickadee there. So if we're going to have it there, there's more than one person, I'm sure, that could sketch a chickadee or get a picture of it or whatever. And I've spent lots of time trying to watch the chickadees at my own feeder since we've been discussing this. And anyway, I just think it needs some fine tuning.
Any other discussion?
I agree, Richard. I just wanted to say the Algonquin Park Villages, that top logo that I sent you is just the original logo. So you'll see that the second logo doesn't have that in it. I just sent you that so you had that to compare to. I like the first version as well, and I agree that there needs to be some tweaking. I think this resolution today is just to decide if we're going to tweak this one, because if we're not, then I would like to start to spend some time on the existing logo and get a style guide, because as I've said a few times, my only goal of this is to have consistency, and we'd like to get moving forward on ordering the chairs and all of the other things that the logo requires. So that's what we're trying to do today, is determine if we're going to continue to tweak this one or if we're abandoning it.
No, could I ask another question?
Go ahead, Richard.
The last sign we put up, at the last minute, it was decided to put an additional sign below it, and it was a great idea. It was perfect. It couldn't have been better wording. Naturally beautiful, and thanks to whoever. But I'm just wondering if it shouldn't all be incorporated into the same sign, and if it's possible, without cluttering it up too much, to keep naturally beautiful and keep it clean, maybe, or put the naturally beautiful on the sign, or in quotes, or whatever way we wanted to do it, and maybe an additional sign below, which I talked about, I think, at a previous meeting, was somehow to keep it litter free or whatever, just to because the naturally beautiful and the keep it clean, to me, kind of go hand in hand. But if that one sign said it all, and just the township of South Algonquin and naturally beautiful. That would be my suggestion if possible. Maybe I'm getting into the weeds too much. I want to be honest. We're spending lots of time. We're going to spend money. It's going to cost money to change these. And then if we did agree to such, and whenever the sign goes up, and if we put one at the boundary of Sabine down in 127, I would hope it's another 3 or 4 feet high, as I've seen others in other places in the township, because it's kind of down in the hole and you can't really see the naturally beautiful on it. And it should be extended. However, I do think that additional sign could be related to how we want to be litter free or keep it clean or help us keep it, whatever we wanted to put on it. But I don't know what the rest of the council thinks about Township of South Algonquin and in quotes, naturally beautiful.
Okay. Any other discussion? I think, as Holly has indicated, by passing or not passing this resolution, we are saying that this is probably not the logo that we want to work with, and that maybe we want to go back to the previous one. Is that what you were getting at, Holly?
I think yes. So we're either going to, as Richard said, continue to tweak this one, but I feel like in the previous discussions, there's been some indication that some members of council don't agree with changing the logo at all. So I think that we need to just confirm or agree not to, so that we can continue to try to make this something that everyone agrees with, including Richard's discussion about what the tagline should be, or if we should have a tagline. So really, I think if it goes either way, I think we are going to need to have a committee meeting and talk about just this before it's finalized. But I think just the decision of which way we're going today is what we're trying to accomplish.
Okay. So is everyone comfortable with that explanation and what the outcome of this vote will mean? Any further comments?
I'd just like to make one comment. Most of the argument against the old logo seems to be because it was clip art. And this consulting company decided to use clip art to change the wings on the chickadee and pine cones. I think the intention was to add a pine cone, not to replace the needles with pine cone, but I just think it's a little bit amusing and not a lot of effort put into it. To the changes, not the whole design.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to call the vote, and there was a request for recorded vote. Okay, so Holly, would you then do the vote, please?
Yes, okay, so Councillor Bongo?
For.
Councillor Collins?
For.
Councillor Florent?
Against.
Councillor Harper?
Against.
Councillor Shala?
Or
Councillor Vermeer?
Against.
Mayor Duma?
For.
So it carries.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear Councillor Harper's vote.
Against.
So the vote was 4-3, am I correct?
Yes.
So it's carried. Okay. All right, the next resolution, moved by Councillor Shala, seconded by Councillor Harper. Be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin agrees to extend the spring cleanup hours at the landfill site an additional 4 weeks through June 20 to allow more time to encourage safe use during the time of COVID distancing requirements. Any discussion? All in favor?
For.
Okay. Thank you.
Or.
Thank you. Okay. That was carried. I'm for as well. Thank you very much. Next resolution. Moved by Councillor Vermeer, seconded by Councillor Collins. Be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin supports the motion passed by the Council of the Township of Arbor, supporting Councillor Rod Ward's letter regarding the need to make substantial investments in high-speed internet connectivity to the rural areas of Ontario. Discussion? We've had discussion on this already. Is there any further discussion?
I think that we had agreed that we we're going to amend it
Okay.
to
Could we
include,
just- Sorry, go ahead, Holly.
to include Richard's point about the financial impact being foremost. So,
Right.
Richard, did you want to word that, and I can write down what your recommendation is?
I just think it, like, just as you mentioned, it has to be reasonably affordable. And if we throw the children, if we channel it towards the requirement for children and education, so they can continue their education, that will maybe carry more weight than anything. So whatever way you word that, Holly, would be, I'm sure, quite fine with me. I feel comfortable you'll do a good job. Thanks.
And I think the point you're covering is the fact that now, while COVID is on, all schools are doing e-learning, but it sounds that in the future there will be e-learning in high schools and possibly in the elementary system as well. So that definitely is, is a significant requirement that we don't want to put any child at any disadvantage. So, Holly, are you okay with the wording there?
I'm just writing. So I have to include that affordability, specifically during a time when students at all levels need the service to further their education.
Your priority.
And then what about and people are using it to socialize?
And businesses, people working from home.
Okay. Home business and social. Okay.
If we just highlighted to say, especially for children, it's all about the youth and the development and also for these other businesses at home and whatever. I certainly agree with it all, but I just it may hit a nerve when we highlight the educational part.
We need to be aware that our rural children or children from rural communities are not disadvantaged. And I think we need to make sure that that hits home.
I agree.
I agree also.
Okay. Okay.
Did you want to read it back, or you're okay? We're okay with it? I know, I apologize.
No, it's okay.
You may have to
okay.
rejig it a few times afterwards, Holly, so long as it's included.
Sorry, one sec. Okay, I will tweak it a bit further, but I have affordability is important, specifically during a time when students at all levels need services to further their education. Home business is prevalent, is what? Anyway, okay, home business, and that all community members are using it for social aspects. And then I'll include the line that says, make sure that our students are not at a disadvantage in rural Ontario. So I'll provide a little update letter over top of that to include those items.
All right, thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, so I would just call the, Councillor Florent, go ahead.
I think now it's an entirely new motion. So I think I think the correct procedure would be to endorse this motion and add the amendment and then add the stuff that we want in.
Very good. Excellent suggestion. So that's how we would go to endorse this, as you said. So the vote would be to endorse this resolution, and then as well to amend with the content of the discussion that we've had at this point in time in regards to the impact on rural communities. With that, could I go ahead then and call the vote? Councillor Collins?
For.
Councillor Florent?
Or
Councillor Harper?
For.
Councillor Bongo?
Four.
Councillor Shala,
Or,
Councillor Shala
or,
might be on mute. Councillor Vermeer,
Or,
and I'm for. Councillor Shala, are you back?
I'm here and I've been for it twice now and waved at you once, so
Sorry, Richard. All right, thank you. It's carried.
sorry
All
you
right.
can't do anything about the internet.
We should just
I
send a
haven't been,
recording.
haven't been kicked out today.
We should just send a recording of our meeting to the powers that be. I have a next resolution be moved by Councillor Florence, seconded by Councillor Harper. Be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin awards tender SA 2020-02 liquid calcium chloride to Miller Paving Limited in the amount of $50,025, including HST. Call the vote. Councillor Collins,
For.
Councillor Florent,
Or,
Councillor Harper,
or,
Councillor Bongo,
Four.
Councillor Shala,
Or,
Councillor Vermeer.
or,
All right, it's carried.
may I ask Dave a question?
Oh, go ahead.
Is that up or down from last year's, Dave?
It's up, not a lot, some.
Any other questions? Okay, so we are at the bylaw. Any notice of
excuse
motion?
me, excuse me, Jane. I
Yes,
think we're adding in the motion that I wanted added at this point.
and I have it right here on my paper, Joe. I apologize. So yes, we have the resolution by Councillor Florent, and I have it moved by Councillor Florent and seconded by Councillor Harper. Be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of South Algonquin supports the motion passed by the Corporation of the Township of Bon Cher Valley, number 20.066, and urges the federal government to revoke the criminal code amendment that ordered regulations prescribing certain firearms, components and parts of firearms, accessories, cartridge magazines, ammunition, and projectiles as prohibited and restricted. Discussion, Councillor Florent?
I'd just like to add that the original motion from the Township of Bon Cher Valley suggests other methods of doing this, such as more enforcement and crack down on illegal firearms owners, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I did get the same information that Councillor Florent talked about from the federal government. And I thought it was a step in the right direction, and I realized it was going to cost taxpayers money. But the type of firearms they were talking about, in my opinion anyway, certainly weren't necessary for hunting purposes. And we have to start somewhere to get these off the street. So if they're in people's homes and somebody breaks in and steals them, they're back on the street. So I guess,
Have you read the list, Richard?
yes, I did. There was about,
You realize that one of them is a toy gun, one is a hairdryer,
6 or 7. Anyway, I just thought it would just, when you hear the news, you see what's happening with some of these firearms, I thought, yeah, it was good. It was good in a way that if somebody had one of these, they're not allowed to use it anyway. So if the government paid them for it, it's better than just saying we're going to take these on you. So I thought it was kind of split in the middle, and to get them out of society and good for safety of the public. So anyway, I'll vote on it.
Any further discussion? All right.
yeah, I have something to say.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Vermeer.
I don't own any guns, and I have nothing against people that own hunting rifles, etc. I got nothing against hunting, but because I'm not a gun owner, I'm going to abstain from this vote.
Okay,
Actually, I don't think councillors have the right to abstain from a vote.
I don't think so
Then I'll
either.
have to vote no. I'll have to vote no then.
That's fine. That's good.
Okay, I'm gonna ask for a recorded vote.
Okay. Okay, Holly, can you do the recorded vote then?
Yes, I'm just having, can you guys see my share screen right now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So, Councillor Florent,
I'm for the motion.
Councillor Bongo,
Or
Councillor Collins,
4,
Councillor Harper,
Or,
Councillor Shala,
Or,
Councillor Vermeer,
Against.
And I'm for.
sorry, Mayor Duma.
Okay, so it's carried. All right. So now we will move into, oh, sorry, notice of motions. Are there any notice of motion? None. So we will go to the bylaw, establish the 2020 schedule of fees. I have the first and second reading moved by Councillor Collins, seconded by Councillor Vermeer. Being a bylaw to establish the schedule of fees for the corporation of the Township of South Algonquin, and that it be read a first and second time and referred to the Committee of Whole of Council. I call the vote. Councillor Collins,
4,
Councillor Florent,
Or,
Councillor Harper,
or,
Councillor Bongo,
or
Councillor Shala,
or,
Councillor Vermeer.
Or,
Third reading, moved by Councillor Shala, seconded by Councillor Florent. Being a bylaw to establish a schedule of fees for the corporation of the Township of South Algonquin as referred by the Committee of the Whole of Council, and that it be read a third time and passed and numbered 20-619, and that the said bylaw be signed by the mayor and the CAO, clerk treasurer, sealed with the seal of the corporation, be entered into the bylaw book. Is there any discussion at this point? Hearing none, I would call the vote. Councillor Collins,
4,
Councillor Harper,
or,
Councillor Florent,
or,
Councillor Bongo,
or
Councillor Shala,
or,
Councillor Vermeer.
or,
It's carried. We're at number 16 on the agenda. There are no requirements to move into closed session. Number 17, payments of accounts. Resolution moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Bongo. Be it resolved that the council for the corporation of the Township of South Algonquin authorizes payment of all bills as recorded for the meeting of June 3rd, 2020, batch 2020-00024, $100, batch 2020-00026, $111,693.05, batch 2020-00028, $19,924.50. I call the vote. Councillor Collins,
4,
Councillor Florent,
or,
Councillor Harper,
or,
Councillor Bongo,
or
Councillor Shala,
or,
Councillor Vermeer,
or,
and I am for. It's carried. Have a resolution moved by Councillor Vermeer, seconded by Councillor Harper. Just have to see what time it is. Be it resolved that the council for the corporation of the Township of South Algonquin adjourns the regular meeting of June 3rd, 2020 at 10:47. All in favor, Councillor Collins,
4,
Councillor Florent,
or,
Harper,
or,
Councillor Bongo,
or
Councillor Shala,
or.
Councillor Vermeer,
or.
and I'm for. Thank you very much, everyone. That concludes our council meeting.
thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.